Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever ember wanders near.
Okay, so a little bit preface. So this is about Nina Lynn. All right, so for those of you that don't know her, she is the ghetto rat from New York who was banned momentarily on Twitch for like a week, 2 weeks, because she sexually assaulted someone on stream twice. Okay, she assaulted two guys on stream 2 different times. She got banned for like 1 day. The first time she got banned for 1 day, and then when the second one was revealed, she got banned for, I think it was a week, 7 days. So that was her initially what she got banned for. When she came back, then she started broadcasting on stream how she steals shit from Target. So she was basically showing like she would take like items like gift cards or something, and or some small item like a greeting card, put it on the bottom of the thing of meat, scan it, and then say, okay, yeah, I bought this meat. And she was bragging that she was stealing boots from Target. So she was bragging about theft. That caught her another ban. That one was, I think, another week ban, like a week-long ban. And now she's done something else where she basically has committed another criminal act on stream during the New York Knicks riots. Yes, I am. Yes, I am referring to that. This was during the New York Knicks riots, where she just showed herself live on stream committing a crime and getting arrested, committing crime and getting arrested on stream. Like, she is a completely worthless ghetto trash, ghetto rat. She is a disgusting creature. She has admitted what's worse, she has admitted on camera to beating her younger brother so badly that CPS was called on them, and her entire family had to flee to China because CPS was going to lock her up for child abuse because she beat her brother for years. Yeah, this is a disgusting creature. She is an absolutely disgusting creature and has absolutely zero value to society. She needs to go into the box and never come out, because she will never amount to anything of value to society. She will only be a detriment to society. She will only bring society down. And this is just her latest escapades of being a disgusting human being.
Nina Lynn has been busted in NYC in a public debacle. We're going to get into it today on Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. Now, some of you may be familiar with Nina Lynn. She's been on our channel quite a couple times. I mean, a few times at this point, mostly related to her behavior when she goes and checks out at various stores. She's had some controversial moments.
That's what I'm talking about. See, she's got a cheap card underneath this cake. She's scanning the card and saying, oh, I bought the cake.
Just here. If it don't scan, it's free, right? No. Got it. I got these from Target too, guys. Look, guess how much I paid? $3.99.
Now, while she was well known for that, this is actually something that went down right after the Knicks game. But before we get to that, I've got a very important message. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their apps could contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but did not.
Why would you admit to crimes on stream? It's called pattern recognition. Because she's never truly gotten in trouble for it. That's why. That's why people admit to crimes online all the time. Because they don't receive punishment for that. And it establishes a pattern. It establishes a pattern. If you commit crimes online all the time and nothing ever happens to you, why would you stop? Where is your incentive to stop committing crimes online if you never receive punishment? And that's what it is. It's a pattern of behavior, and it's a recognition that I can do whatever the fuck I want. Nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, she got a temporary suspension from Twitch for a week. You know what she did with that? Did she learn from that? Did she go, oh, this was bad, I shouldn't do this anymore? No, you know what she did? She came back and did a whole skit about breaking out of jail. And was basically making light of the very reason that caused her to get banned in the first place. Like, she was fucking with her cameraman, and she's like, oh, do I have permission to touch you? I don't want to get banned again. Do I have your permission to do to touch you like this? So she turned the sexual assault that she committed against 2 different men into a fucking joke on her stream, showcasing that she learned nothing. And so the punishment did nothing. She probably didn't really lose any revenue out of it. So if she's not going to receive any punishment from it, why should she change her behavior? The entire purpose of punishment in the first place is to basically show a person you've done something wrong. You're going to get, for the lack of a better term, you're going to get hurt in some way. Either your freedoms will be restricted, your money is going to be taken from you. You're going to basically be feeling some kind of pain, metaphorical or otherwise, because you did something wrong. That is the purpose of punishment. If the punishment inflicted does not cause any distress or any pain to the person, then the person's going to go, well, this ain't shit. I'll just keep doing this again. This punishment is going to do a thing if you even get punished in the first place. So why the fuck should I change my behavior if I receive 0 correction for it? And that's Nina Lynn. She has not received any punishment to facilitate any kind of correction to her behavior. So what incentive does she have to change her behavior in any way? That she got temporarily suspended from Twitch for a week. Big fucking deal. Celestium got that for doing literally nothing. Don't forget, Celestium got suspended for a week from Twitch because she got hate brigaded by someone, and they did a mass reporting on her. Twitch could not even tell Celestium what she did wrong. And, you know, let's be real. It didn't, granted, there was nothing Celestium had to learn from that, but it didn't affect Celestium too negatively from a punishment standpoint. And so she just continued on. Now, Celestium is a bit of a different example because she actually did not do anything wrong. There was nothing for her to be punished about, but the punishment was minimal. It was just a temporary suspension. She was still able to stream on Kick, and things like that. She did lose her makeship for the same reason, but again, that was not because of her behavior. That was because someone created a campaign, a hate campaign against her, and therefore, and so basically she was punished for not doing anything. And so, she had good reason to not change anything because she had done nothing wrong. With Nina Lynn, she received the same like piddly little suspension that didn't hurt her in any way. She received no negative, she basically did not receive any negative consequences. These days, the way Twitch operates, a 7-day suspension is fucking nothing. It's become essentially a rite of fucking passage for people to get a 7-day suspension. It's I don't want to say something stupid here, but basically, getting a 7-day suspension from Twitch these days is kind of a nothing burger. It happens to so many people for the most bullshit of reasons that they are functionally meaningless anymore. They are functionally meaningless. And with her, it's not simply just the 7-day suspension. She did not get affected monetarily in any way, shape, or form. She didn't lose money. Because again, if you want to make someone hurt, you got to hit them in the bank account. If you hit them in the bank account, that's the way you make them hurt. Make them sit up and pay attention and go, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore because I like money. I don't like my money being taken away from me. And if I do this, my money gets taken away from me. So maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. She has not received this yet. And so why should she change her behavior in any way, shape, or form?
Share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. If you or your child spent years
Yeah,
growing up on
essentially, yeah, it's
social
like a
media and
week-long
experienced
vacation.
serious
Yep.
mental health struggles, you should hear this. Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they caused. You can use the link in my description or scan the QR code to take a short quiz to see if you qualify for a case. You may be entitled to a potential recovery of over $1,000. Okay, so let's get into exactly what went down right after.
And by the way, all the examples that I gave about Nina Lynn basically breaking the law and breaking Twitch 2S is literally a fraction of the shit she's done before. There's video footage out her of her literally table flipping, like abusing her, like it was like a co-host or a cameraman or something, like fucking flipping a table in a McDonald's, something like physically just flipping a table. And there's also a video footage of her assaulting a taxi cab driver. I don't think she ever received any punishment from Twitch for that. She literally assaulted a taxi cab driver live on stream. She threw a drink in his face live on stream. And demanded that he fight her. Never got punished for that. So again, if she's not going to get punished, why should she change her behavior? She needs to be treated like a disobedient dog. When a dog is disobedient, you punish the dog. You institute corrective behavior. You give it punishment to say this is unacceptable behavior. You're going to change your behavior. So literally, she needs to be treated like a disobedient dog at this point, because otherwise she's not going to change. There's absolutely she has no incentive to change unless she actually receives punishment. So you treat her like the disobedient dog that she is.
The big Knicks win in New York City. Here's the footage.
Well, I would love to get on top of that. Can I get on top of that? You guys see the pictures? Hold on. Stay right here. I'm gonna try to get on top of that. Well, I'm you ready?
And sorry, guys, Nina is not only loud but curses a lot. So I know my editor is going to have to be paid overtime on this one.
Nina Lynn has one of the most annoying voices I have ever heard. Her voice is literally nails on a chalkboard. So I will apologize in advance for the ear SA you are about to experience.
Bleeping this out. Nina is very verbose.
She doesn't deserve a ball gag.
Cameraman, you ready? Cameraman, you ready? Go upstairs. Hold on, stay right here. Hold on, move up. Hold on, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Now, hold on. Now, this is an Amazon van. So this is not her vehicle. This is very important to the legal analysis here. She's jumping up on something that's not hers, okay? So let's start there when we're looking at criminality. Now, to be clear, I am not a New York lawyer, though I know a fantastic New York lawyer, my good friend Nate the lawyer, who's awesome, cancer survivor, very sharp up there. But this is very clearly something that could be, if she damaged the vehicle, potentially criminal.
Yep.
Oh my God!
But by the way, she also just fucked this Amazon driver too. Bear that in mind. She just screwed this Amazon delivery driver probably lost his job because of this too. Because she said, "Can I jump on there?" And he just shrugged. All he did was shrug. He didn't tell her no. So by her doing this stunt, this Amazon driver, maybe he deserves it. If he's going to be this reckless that he's going to say, "Yeah, you can go ahead and jump on the top of this," and I'm going to start pedaling off. No, it was not a robot courier. No, there's actually it's one of those like one of those pedal delivery vehicles that Amazon uses during the warmer months. Yeah, he shrugged though he didn't consent. Him just going, because you don't hear him telling her, "Hey, no, you can't get on there. You have to get off of there." You don't hear him doing that, like making a stink and saying, "You gotta get the hell off there." He's just cool with it, and then he's gonna start pedaling. That makes him complicit in this, and he's probably now fired. He probably no longer has a job. Can't the Amazon driver legally sue her? Considering he kind of gave her implied permission, doubtful. I doubt this Amazon driver could actually sue her because when she said that and he just kind of shrugged, and when she started climbing up, didn't like start going, hold up, you can't get up there. No, no, no. No, you can't be doing this because he's not doing this and just allowing it. And instead of calling the police, just starts pedaling away. No, there is probably a measure of implied consent there or a variant of consent. So yeah, he's probably fired.
No, why would you put my phone out here like that? You bugging.
Yo, be careful of that shit.
I got you.
See, and he's going.
Hold my phone, hold my phone.
So naturally, when you get a content creator who's out there, they got their camera, they're recording, they got the team, what's going to happen? There's going to be a crowd forming around them. People are going to gather. It's going to gather attention. It's also going to gather the attention of law enforcement. That's very, very natural. When they see this crowd forming around a content creator, that's going to happen. Now, mind you, that night there were a lot of crowds, a lot of people celebrating.
Oh, God, yes.
You know, Nina, she's out there celebrating. I think that's really no different than a lot of people that were celebrating that night.
Okay, well, okay. I have to make a very clear note of distinction here. A lot of people were celebrating. Yeah, and a big, strong majority of them were rioting. I'm sure you guys have seen the video footage of these people, quote unquote, celebrating by destroying public and private property. That they were setting buses on fire. They were busting out business windows. I'm sure you guys have seen the cab driver that these fucking animals decided to destroy his cab, like on camera. Like they were just like, they shattered his window. They beat the fuck out of the front of his vehicle. Like they just completely destroyed this poor cab driver's vehicle. And and basically just fucked this guy out of God knows how much money for the day. You know, is one of the biggest days of the year for him. That he could have made a lot of money because it's the fucking playoff game. It's the finals. And he could have been making a fuck ton of money, but because these disgusting animals decided they were going to have, they thought it was going to be fun to destroy someone else's property that's not their own. Well, they just literally just screwed him out of any money that he could have made. Like every fucking one of them needs to go in the box. The behavior of these people during these riots was disgusting. This wasn't even like protesting something. This is, oh, the Knicks won. I can act like a filthy animal. Like every single one of them are disgusting animals, are serving no purpose in society. And guess what? It's not even a racial thing. You can't even cry racism on this one. Because you had people in there of literally every type of ethnicity in these riots. This is not even a racial, you can't even attempt to try and claim it's racial. These are just disgusting animals, and every fucking one of them should be put in the box. Every fucking one of them. But the problem is, the mayors slashed the budget for the police officers. The police officers don't have anywhere close to the numbers that they needed, so most of them are going to get away with it. And again, what have we talked about? If they're not going to get punished, they're going to go, oh, I can just do this again. And again. And again, if I'm not going to get punished, why should I stop? Like, why would anyone want to live in New York these days? What? And seriously, like, why would anyone want to live in New York with these fucking animals? It's beyond me.
And may have been doing crazy things. You're seeing footage and video of people up on light poles, people climbing around on things. That's something that happens after a big sports win. That part is really nothing normal. That's nothing out of the normal.
And by the way, chat, remember we were talking about the last video, disorderly conduct? Here's your example of disorderly conduct. You wanted a visual? This is a visual example of disorderly conduct.
And now you see on the left here, and here's where she's starting to get in trouble. And this is where the legal stuff happens. You see the cop down here who's telling her now to get down, get off, stop it. So here's where we may have potential for obstructing government administration, aka resisting arrest. We might have a potential here. Did she listen right away? Did she comply right away? It looks like she did, but we'll see how this plays out overall.
Oh, we gotta go to jail.
And off to the box.
Now, I will say the cop was pretty a little bit aggressive there, taking her. It seemed like she was coming down. I mean, she was going, towards the cops. She wasn't trying to flee from cops. He kind of spun her around right there and and moved her off. To me, okay, maybe this cop had heard of Nina before. Maybe this cop had been looking for a reason to arrest Nina. Nina's track record.
Because it's already a fucking shit show right now with what's happening in New York with the Knicks winning and all of these people flooding the streets and causing problems. And there's this woman there's this crazy woman on top of an Amazon van stirring people up even more. It's called making an example out of her. Like, based fucking cop ripping her down and immediately yanking her arms behind her back and going click, click. And not taking any shit, not being nice about it. Based fucking cop. It's like, because you could see her up there. She was ginning up. She was inciting everybody on the ground to get hyped up. Hell yeah, you hit that aggressively. You fucking yank her ass down. You fucking put her hands behind her back and you put the cuffs on. You do it quick, fast, and in a hurry. You make an example out of her. Abso-fucking-lutely. This cop was fucking base going hard like that.
Is out there, and some law enforcement might say, hey, this is a golden opportunity to lock her up. They also might just be in a bad mood that night because there's a lot of stuff going on and they don't want to see anything develop into a riot or anything that might cause property damage. So who knows, but it does seem like they're a little bit forceful there. So there you have it. Nina was eventually carted off and she was taken down to the jail. She did get out later, and I don't want to play that video because she's cursing a lot. But
yeah, she when they let her go, they cut her loose with like I think it was a disorderly citation. She's like, you know how I like to make the joke about using fuck like a comma? It's basically what she was doing. She was just like, literally every other word, she was swearing her ass off about getting arrested. Oh, poor petty bitch. You got arrested for acting like a dumbass fucking thug. Oh, cry me a fucking river, you moron. And yeah, it's only going to be a slap on the wrist. It is. That's the unfortunate part. Like, she should have been put into the box. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. The arrest in and of itself and what she's going to get charged with is not the major thing. The major thing is she violated TOS. Nina Lynn only does these things because she has an audience. If Nina Lynn did not have her stream, did not have her audience, she wouldn't do any of this. She wouldn't. She's only doing this to basically get her audience riled up so they will send her money. She's doing it for money. So if you take that away from her, guess what? She's not going to do it. So, Twitch needs to ban her. She needs to be permanent. Okay? This is at minimum the 4th criminal act that she has committed on stream in a year. At minimum. I'm guessing it's probably not. I'm guessing there's probably a great deal more that she's committed on stream. She needs to be permanently banned off the platform. By Twitch's own TOS, Nina Lynn has violated them multiple times. You are not allowed to commit a criminal act on stream. She has done so at minimum 4 times within the last year, the last 365 days. And supposedly, after your 3rd ban, you're gone. Why? So why isn't she already permanent? Why is she not off the platform? Is it because she's got nice tits? I'm going to hazard a guess and say yes. I'm going to hazard a guess that Gunnar Clancy's sitting there going, oh, God, Nina's tits. And is just jerking himself into a frenzy about it. And that's why she hasn't been banned. That's why she hasn't been permanent. Yeah. Like, the extremely obvious rules for thee but not for me is in full fucking effect with every scumbag female streamer that is out there. Morgue Pie, Nina Lynn, they consistently commit blatant violations of the TOS. With Nina Lynn, it's consistent criminal activity. But because they have nice tits, Gooner Clancy's like, no, keep them on the platform. I need something to jerk off to every night. And people wonder why streamers writ large, generally speaking, hate Twitch. Is there any wonder why Twitch has gotten the reputation of being an absolute dogshit streamer platform? And before people go on the whole thing of, well, then why are you still streaming on Twitch? Is because I continue to stream on Twitch because a good chunk of the majority of my audience is on Twitch. And I'm not going to fuck over my dedicated audience that enjoys my streams on Twitch because they do not wish to go over to the other platform I stream on. I stream for my audience. I don't stream for the company. And so my audience will come first. I can absolutely hate the platform. And I hate the platform and I hate what's happening because I want to see it improve. I'm not writing off Twitch. This is not me writing off Twitch. I rage about Twitch because it's so easy to fucking improve it. And I want to see it improve. The only way it's going to improve is if they completely nuke, metaphorically, the leadership. The leadership and the moderation teams need to all be fired. And they need to clean fucking house and bring in people that actually know what the fuck they're doing. I want to see Twitch improve. That's why I'm angry. That's why I continue to stream on Twitch. Is because I want to see things go back to rights. I want to see streamers treated with fucking respect. I want to see streamers that commit criminal acts on streams actually fucking punished, actually nuked off the fucking platform. Because Twitch could be a great streaming platform. Twitch was the inception of streaming. Okay, the very concept of streaming began with Twitch. Once upon a time, Twitch was a great platform to stream on. I would like to see Twitch get back to that point where you can be proud to say, I'm streaming on Twitch. I want to get back to the point where people will want to actively stream on Twitch again, that instead of having to look for alternatives like Kick, like YouTube, like Rumble. I want to see that happen. Which is what makes me so fucking angry, is that you have a bunch of fucking gooners in charge of this platform that would rather jerk off to an ETHOT's tits than actually do what the streamers and what the audience, the paying fucking customers, are saying, here's the change you need to make your platform better. And they just ignore it because big titties are good.
Apparently, her cameraman ran away. She was very mad at her cameraman for doing that, although I suspect the cameraman didn't want to catch any charges. But today we're going to talk about the potential charges that Nina might catch. So what is Nina looking at potentially? Once again, these are potential crimes. There's no indication that she will be charged with all of them. I'm just giving you some options that might be brought against her by New York, some potential stuff for this behavior. So let's start with the first one. This is the easiest one, disorderly conduct. This is a layup. This is a super broad category that can really cover almost any behavior that causes a public disturbance. So oftentimes, if law enforcement, police, they really want to ding you, they're going to go with disorderly conduct. We saw that in the Bricks and Minifigs case with Reckless Ben. They dinged him for that. You've got criminal mischief. So if there's any damage to that Amazon van, I talked about it. It's not her van, right? So any damage to that van could be criminal mischief. Trespass, unlawful use of property. So
actually, I would even go so far as to say if there's any damage to the Amazon van, that Amazon could look at filing charges of criminal damage to property as well. Not simply criminal mischief, criminal damage to property.
Entering the van, going on the van without permission. It didn't look like she had permission to go on that van. I'm not even sure the driver could give her permission, even if he wanted to do that. That may be beyond the scope of his authority to do. You've also got potential resisting arrest. We pointed out the cop. If the cop told her to get down and she didn't get down immediately, then they could interpret it that way. Although to me, reviewing that footage, it looks from an external standpoint like she did actually comply. So
It does.
I think that one's
It
a little
does.
bit weaker. Even weaker would be reckless endangerment. So
Yeah.
these are, as we're kind of going down this list, these are weaker charges, very unlikely. So reckless endangerment would be if Nina's actions cause risk to others.
You're not going to get obstruction. She did not resist. She did not fail to comply. Just because she was slow to get out from the roof of that pedal van, that wouldn't constitute obstruction. She didn't fight. From what we could tell, granted, our view was not great of it, but it did not look like she fought with the cop. So she was there. There was zero risk of her being charged with this. She was compliant, well, from what we could see the whole time. This one and the criminal mischief, the trespass. Yeah, like Andrew said, it all depends. Like, again, the Amazon driver is going to lose his job. The Amazon driver, because he was stupid enough not to flat out say when she said, "Hey, can I get on there?" and he didn't flat out say no. And when she did climb on there, didn't say get off. And if she refused, call the police and say, "I'm not moving. She needs to get off this thing." That, like, because he started going with her on the roof and because he did not tacitly say, "No, you can't do this," I doubt you're going to be able to get this. The trespass, unlawful use of property, I doubt that can make stick, because even if the driver did not have the authority to do so, from a reasonable perspective, if Nina Lynn does not work for Amazon, she would not, as a reasonable person, she would not know that the driver does not have the authority to to allow her on there. So you can easily make that argument in court, like, well, she didn't know that he didn't have the authority to do it. He was an official Amazon employee. He was driving this vehicle. She was under the assumption that he had authority to allow that. And so that would never fly. So they'll never charge her with that. But the damaged property, yeah, that one they could do. Criminal mischief, criminal damaged property, absolutely. And yeah. So there it is. Possible unlawful use of property. I don't know about possible unlawful use. Again, that would fall into the same thing. That falls under the same thing here, is like because when she asked, the driver just kind of shrugged and didn't concisely tell her, "No, you cannot get on top of this thing." And the fact that after she got on top of it, he started pedaling and heading down the street, that would involve implied consent by him doing that. By him taking those actions, there would be an implied consent quotient to it. Now, granted, he shouldn't have. And again, that Amazon driver is probably fired now. But as far as like a charge against Nina Lynn for it, no.
So if somebody got up on that, van and started doing something reckless, or, she was helping people shoot off fireworks or do something dangerous that could cause some harm to others, that might be reckless endangerment, but it doesn't seem like it went that far. The other one is citing to riot. That's the very last one. I mean, saying Nixon 5 on a sports game day, I don't think that's going to be inciting to riot. That's just the normal fervor after your team wins. That's very normal, right? You're going to see a lot of that all around the world. We got World Cup going on. I got people all around the world here going crazy for that. That's a sports thing. And for a brief stunt like that during a sport day, I don't think they're going to get it for inciting to riot. So let's get to my judgment. So in judgment, I think some law enforcement are very likely to arrest Nina Lynn. I think Nina Lynn has been one that has gotten away with a lot of stuff, in the past, and perhaps some law enforcement wanted to ding her on that and get her booked on something. But all of these are Class A and Class B misdemeanors, so they're not felonies. She's not going away for life, right? What she's going to get here is a fine, maybe some community service, at max some very short jail time.
Probably won't happen.
That's the most likely outcome. She's not going to be locked up for a very long time, even if they hit a book at her on this one. And the other thing is, there's really no report of major property damage tied to Nina, and there were dozens of arrests over the Knicks playoffs and finals. So while this is very interesting, I think Nina will kind of get off on this one. But I want to know what you guys think about Nina Lynn in general, and what you guys think about this situation in the comments below. I will catch you on the next one.
Yeah, the criminality of this was never a big thing. That was never my concern. My concern is the Twitch TOS. Is how is Twitch going to respond to this. Because but by Twitch not banning her, especially not perma-banning her, Twitch is telling every live streamer, do whatever the fuck you want. We don't care. That's what Twitch is telling every chaos streamer on their platform. Do whatever you want. We're not going to do a fucking thing to stop you. Because we don't care. So I'll check. Let me check to see. I don't think she's been banned yet, but I will check. Let's see. Nope. She's not banned. So even like 24 hours later, Twitch still hasn't banned her. This is why people think Twitch is a dog shit platform. Because they allow people to commit criminal acts with impunity. Why should anybody think Twitch is a good platform if they're allowed to do this? She has been formally charged. She has been formally charged. She has received a citation in disorderly conduct. She has a court case. That's formally charged. So yes, she has been formally charged as, and by the way, there does not even need to be a charge. By Twitch's TOS, if you do something on stream that is considered illegal, it's supposed to be an instant ban. She got banned for 1 day after the I think it was like 1 day for the shoplifting. After her case? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it'll be after her case because again, like she caught 1 day ban for the shoplifting case, and that was before any charges. Yeah, it's basically if you've got a nice pair of tits, Dan's not gonna ban you. That's what if you're an e-thought with nice tits, you can basically just run roughshod over this platform and do whatever the fuck you want. However, if you are someone that expresses, your faith, and someone does a fraudulent brigade against you, which again is also a violation of TOS, is brigading against someone else, then you'll catch 7-day ban. Nina's a girl? That's a question mark. That's certainly a question mark, I would say.